Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The program is about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Robert Templin, Jr., President of Northern Virginia Community College and Chair of Achieving the Dream Board of Directors.
Good evening. Welcome, Dreamers. Please continue to enjoy your salad while we make a few welcoming remarks offered by myself and our distinguished colleague from Los Angeles Community College District. On behalf of the board and the staff of Achieving the Dream, I want to thank you for making the trek to California for this annual convening of Achieving the Dream, the National Reform Network of Community Colleges. This is our signature event for Achieving the Dream. It's the place where once a year, all of the institutions committed to improving student outcomes through completion gather to share what it is that they have found and to help define the next chapter in the student success journey that we have. Once again, we've shattered the record for attendance. Over 1,600 community college professionals are here. We have over 250 different presenters, and most of them are from Achieving the Dream colleges, leading workshops and plenary sessions. Our network is growing in absolute numbers, as well as the expertise and the knowledge of how to help our institutions and our students realize their dreams. I want to extend a special thanks to those who provide the inspiration and support for our work. Those are the members of the Achieving the Dream Board, our investors, our sponsors, the 7 founding partners, and the 65 leadership and data coaches. I'm going to ask all of those to please rise and be acknowledged. Thank you. I also want to introduce a special group. We're welcoming 22 community college students who are part of the Dream Team this year. They are tweeting and videographing and attending the sessions. Please say hello to our 22 Dreamers. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge the amazing work that the Achieving the Dream staff have accomplished in working so hard and so diligently to orchestrate this meeting and to bring us here together. It's incredible, it's a lot of hard work, and they've constructed a program that will stimulate our best thinking and help us to better serve our students in our community. Would the staff of Achieving the Dream please stand and be recognized? Achieving the Dream is extremely pleased to be meeting in California, in the backyard of the 9 community colleges that make up the Los Angeles Community College District. It's the largest community college district in the United States, serving more than 250,000 students annually. We're especially honored to have with us this evening the Vice Chancellor for Educational Programs and Institutional Effectiveness for the Los Angeles District, Dr. Yasmin Delahoussaye, who would like to extend her own warm greetings to you. Yasmin?
Thanks, Bob. Good evening, everyone. It's with pleasure and pride that I welcome you to sunny Southern California on behalf of the LACCD. You're laughing. There's a reason. You know, it really is usually sunny here, but I was on the elevator with someone from Ohio, so guess what? It's sunny Southern California. I do want to say that for those of you who are past participants of Achieving the Dream, I think you recognize and realize how much work it goes into putting on these conferences. So I'm wondering if you would once again please join me in giving a thunderous applause to the ATD staff who year after year continue to put on these conferences. Now, honestly, I don't know about you, but I love coming to Achieving the Dream and these conferences because this is a place where you learn about strategies in terms of what it takes to help students complete and be successful. And I don't know about you, but I'm still thinking about the Hawaii Community College system and that presentation that they did last year in Dallas. Wasn't that wonderful? So before I turn the mic back over to Bob, I do want to thank the location committee for choosing Anaheim, which is in our backyard. And I want to let you know that the LACCD, which is in its second year of Achieving the Dream, recognizes that coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, but working together is success. Thank you, and best wishes for a successful conference.
Thank you, Yasmin. We're entering a day in the history of our country where it's no long enough for people to have a shot at college. We're entering a time in our world's history where no person's talent can go unused. And so the paradoxical challenge that we at Achieving the Dream must embrace is that over the next decade, we have to find a way to open our doors to a wider group of even more diverse students, to have significantly better outcomes for those students, and to find a way to do that at a declining cost per student. That is our reality. That's the challenge we embrace, and that's the mission that we have at this conference. We'll continue this discussion after the main course. Have a great dinner.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Bill Trueheart, President and CEO of Achieving the Dream.
Good evening, and welcome, and thank you for your warm reception and your active participation in Dream 2013. I'm confident that during this week, you'll have an invigorating and meaningful week learning and sharing your knowledge, which is the hallmark, after all of the Dream conferences that we have. And we're fortunate this year to have, for the first time, corporate sponsors who invested in specific aspects of our work. And their generous donations are making it possible to strengthen ATD's ability to effectively serve as a key resource to all of you on your campuses. And so one of my tasks tonight is to give special thanks to Pearson Learning Solutions for supporting ATD's. Go ahead and applaud. They're supporting a very important aspect of our work as we envision our work going forward, and that's ATD's engagement through media and technology. And their generous gift will help us begin really for the first time to genuinely build our knowledge center for our National Reform Network. So I think when you were coming in, you may have seen their table near the registration desk. And then tomorrow, or on Wednesday morning, is that tomorrow? Yeah. On Wednesday morning, they're going to be in the Emerging Ideas Exchange, and I think it's about 11 o'clock. So please join me once again in thanking them for their commitment to student success. We are also fortunate this year to have the largest number of international educational leaders in our history, in ATD history, participate this year. 3 years ago, the Kresge Foundation asked ATD if we would invite 2 higher education leaders from South Africa, and we did, and they participated in DREAM. Last year, the foundation made the same request to invite 6 leaders from South Africa, and we did, and they came. And I'm honored tonight to say that we have the wonderful opportunity to welcome 16 guests from the great nation of South Africa. Yeah, that's great. And I'm pleased to say that for the first time we have colleagues from the Community College of Guam and from Northern Marianas College. So we applaud. I think representatives of those colleges are somewhere down here in the front. Please stand so that we can welcome you. We're really pleased to have you with us, and we're looking forward to many rich exchanges with you throughout the rest of the week. And I encourage all of you to get to know them and encourage you to get to know as many of us as you can. And we look forward to a great partnership going forward. I'm also honored this evening to introduce the President and CEO of the Kresge Foundation, Rapson. Many of you, I'm sure, know him, have heard him speak. He's an eloquent presenter, and he has an impressive professional history. And I'm not going to take the time tonight to tell you all about him, because you can read about him if you haven't known already what he's done, and I'm just going to hit the highlights. But Rapson is an attorney, and we'll forgive him for that. But he's also an expert in urban policy, and we welcome and love him for that. And he assumed his position as the president of the Kresge Foundation in 2006. But prior to that, you may have known that he, prior to joining Kresge, he was the president of the Minnesota-based McKnight Foundation, the 3M Foundation. It was a private $2 billion foundation that he headed. So he's been in the thick of very important philanthropy for a good long time, and we're really pleased that in his role now, he's become such a wonderful leader, and his foundation has become such a great partner for ATD. And they have been very, very generous in supporting our efforts in California, in New York, in Michigan, and in Florida. And more recently, they've been involved in helping us in our emerging leadership work. And many of you will hear more about that in the time that you're going to be spending here at DREAM. And importantly, Kresge has also agreed to support this year's Leah Meyer Austin competition. And so it's my pleasure, my great pleasure, to welcome Rep to the podium to make some introductory remarks, and then to announce this year's winners of the prestigious Leah Meyer Austin Award and its special recognition award. So Rip, come join us.
Thank you, Bill, for that lovely and completely exaggerated introduction. For those of you who know Bill's prior life, you know that he was one of the really great figures in philanthropy, so to be introduced quite that way by someone of his caliber is a real privilege. It's an honor for Kresge to sponsor the Leah Meyer Austin Award this year. None of us would be here in this room were it not for Leah's creativity, passion, and determination, all of which led to the creation of Achieving the Dream. You know, and despite the presence of the happiest place on earth down the street, my strong suspicion, is that we wouldn't have gotten 1,600 folks in this room if we weren't all deeply committed to exactly that vision that Leah articulated and helped execute. And it is just, it's a pleasure to have you all here and honor the spirit of what she's accomplished. Let me also just thank Bill a little bit more formally for his staff and board for leading this charge. Achieving the Dream confirms day in and day out the power of community colleges to provide pathways of opportunity to students from all walks of life, and in the process to define an arc of aspiration that holds the power to transform this nation's educational and economic future. I also want to just very briefly acknowledge the really superb team that we have at Kresge working on these issues. I know many of you may know some of them, but Bill Moses is our program director, Carolyn Altman-Smith is our senior program director, and Joe Swickert is our representative from the communications group. So the three of you, thank you very much. And permit me just to punctuate the welcome that Bill extended to our South African guests. This is the third year that we've been joined by a South African delegation, but in many ways, this year has particular meaning. The South African universities are just coming off a path-breaking conference organized by the University of Pretoria just a couple of weeks ago that focused on access and success and zeroed in on some of the parallels between South Africa and the United States, including in an extensive immersion in the philosophy and the architecture and the machinery of achieving the dream. The delegation is too large to identify individually, but let me acknowledge just a few. First is a truly spectacular, extraordinary leader of the University of Pretoria, Cheryl Delahoussaye. Francis Stridham is leading 13 representatives from the University of Free State, which is sort of tucked in the middle of the country. And Sheila Gastro heads Inyatello, which has worked hand in glove with Kresge and other American foundations to build the capacity of South African nonprofit institutions with a particular emphasis on higher education. So as you meet them in the hallways, they stood earlier, please seek them out. Give them your warmest welcome. And for heaven's sakes, please try to do it before they get to Disney so that that's sort of not their enduring impression about what America is really all about. We're counting on you. Let me just say a word about Kresge. As you may know, we're based in Detroit, and we were founded almost 90 years ago. We've invested deeply in our hometown, and we are beginning to see the outlines of a reimagined, newly vibrant city. But we also work nationally across 6 program areas to improve opportunity structures for low-income people in American cities. Our education program is woven from that cloth. As all of you believe, we believe that a well-educated nation can fuel a new education-led era of national prosperity and help low-income people change the trajectory of their lives. We're accordingly committed to improving pathways to and through college for low-income and underrepresented students, and to strengthening institutions such as community colleges and minority-serving institutions that focus on the needs of those students. Supporting Achieving the Dream has become one of the pillars of this strategy. Over the last 6 years, as Bill noted, we've supported ATD in 3 ways. First, by underwriting the participation of almost 20 colleges in California, Florida, Maine, Michigan, and Washington, D.C. We're particularly proud to support the Los Angeles Community College District, about which we've already heard. Not only is this district the nation's largest community college district, but only 5.6% of all adults in South Los Angeles hold an associate's or bachelor's degree. It's the lowest level in the United States. And yet, even though this is in fact ground zero for U.S. college completion, every single college in the district is now participating in ATD. It's a marvelous accomplishment. The second way we're supporting Achieving the Dream is to invest in their national office. We should never take for granted what President Bill Trueheart and his staff have accomplished. What began as a number of years ago as an informal partnership between several national nonprofits has blossomed into this, a thriving, independent organization that has grown that partnership into a network that now touches 30 states of the Union and includes 1 out of every 6 of the nation's community colleges. And the third way we support Achieving the Dream is by underwriting the New College Leadership Project, which seeks to recruit and prepare the next generation of community college leaders. I would only note that by 2016, 9 out of 10 of today's community college presidents will retire. In partnership with the Yasmin Institute, Achieving the Dream is creating alternative leadership recruitment and development models and piloting a new professional development forum for leader college presidents. The effort also aims to inform relevant decision makers about what skills are needed in a 21st century successful community college president, whether it's an entrepreneurial mindset, a propensity for data-driven decision making, or an unwavering focus on student success. So let me turn to the reason I was asked to speak in the first place. Achieving the Dream established the Leah Maya Austin Award, or the Leah, in 2008 to recognize community colleges whose practices, policies, and institutional culture have generated exemplary, measurable progress in increasing student success, particularly among low-income students and kids of color. The award is named for the woman whose leadership helped launch ATD. Now, I've never, I don't think, Leah, ever met anyone for whom an award was named. Big deal. But as luck would have it, Leah and I were both scheduled to speak at the Pretoria conference that I just talked about. And what a pleasure that was. After about 3 minutes with Leah, actually after about 17 seconds with Leah, I understood exactly why this award could be named for nobody else. It wasn't just the talk she gave, which was brilliant, even though she was deeply medicated, as I recall. Yeah. Yeah. She had a sinus condition. She went on and on about her kids, her honeymoon. No, she actually was brilliant. It was very focused, very precisely. She told me she didn't remember anything about it, so I thought I could fill in the blanks for you. But her talk, in fact, did sort of piece together the case for how we can and must overcome the community college system's diversity, autonomy, and disconnection to build the machinery of student success. It was less her speech than it was her indefatigable energy and profound passion with which she spoke to everyone she met about the importance of building a movement based not just on technical fixes, but on social justice and personal opportunity, a movement based on data and demonstrated results, not on hunches and anecdotes, a movement that focuses first, foremost, and ultimately on serving the needs of students. Nelson Mandela once said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." Well, ATD isn't yet done, but thanks to Leah and to so many of you in this room, the challenge of dramatically improving community college student access doesn't seem quite so impossible anymore. We're seeing not only that we can raise the aggregate graduation numbers, but that we can do that in ways that reflect the distinctive personalities of every corner of the higher education system, whether on the Rio Grande border or in the Mississippi Delta, this great state of California, or my home state of Michigan. Let me say that selecting this year's Leah recipient was especially difficult. The accomplishments of so many people inside and outside of this room are ever more impressive, making the selection process mind-numbingly hard. But as a result of that, the Leah Selection Committee actually asked ATD to provide 2 awards. The first is a special recognition of the Community College of Baltimore County for its remarkable success in improving developmental education success rates. I'd like to invite Leah and Bill to join me on stage to present the CCBC award, the president to the CCB president, Dr. Sandra Kurtenitis. CCBC has invested heavily in professional development and has expanded its accelerated learning program, which allows students who place into upper-level developmental writing courses to enroll concurrently in English 101, a gateway credit course. This approach has now been adopted by almost 100 colleges across the country and has been implemented statewide in several places. The selection committee voted to award CCBC a $10,000 check to support their continuing student success work.
I know I'm embarrassing them, but these are the people who really actually deserve this award. So let me just say a few words of just real gratitude and appreciation. I think we are all pleased and proud and even humbled because 2 good things happened to us tonight. One, we have become a leader college, something we've hoped to do for a while, but also we are receiving this wonderful recognition. Our college is huge. We serve 70,000 students a year. We are the size and heft of a small city. And so we know we can never think small. We can have no small conversations about the work that we must do to advantage thousands upon thousands of students. And we're all community colleges, so we know that our secret weapon is never dollars. It is the skill, the talent, the commitment, the dedication of our faculty and staff, all these folks and all across the institution who actually every single day do the heavy lifting, do the hard work of ensuring that our students have the best chance to be successful as they possibly can have. Extraordinary can-do spirit. I want to thank Achieving the Dream. We're very grateful. Thank our coaches and also the Kresge Foundation. Thank you for giving us this honor. It feels wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, I have to give her the check too?
The check's in the mail. Thank you so much. Thank you all. It's an extraordinary institution. We're delighted to have the entire institution on stage. I now know what crowdsourcing means. Yeah. It's actually terrific to have them all here. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Kurtenitis. So the second award, our main award, is of course the 2013 Leah Meyer Austin Award. And I'm absolutely delighted to announce that the winner is South Texas College in McAllen, Texas.
Was
As Dr. Reed comes up, let me just say a word. South Texas College is the largest, fastest growing college south of San Antonio. It's led by Dr. Shirley Reed, STC's founding and current president. STC serves 2 counties along the U.S.-Mexican countries. STC serves 2 counties along the U.S.-Mexico border. Yeah, 2 countries. Bill, which one did you want me to say? We've got a couple counties, couple countries, but in any event, almost all of its students are low-income and Latino, and more than 70% are first-generation college students. STC has been a standout success through its use of student-centered and data-driven innovation. In a state that prides itself on doing everything bigger, STC runs Texas's biggest dual enrollment program and has seen impressive results in both access and success. The faculty and leadership have mobilized to create a college-going culture in the community and have increased the college readiness of incoming students. The results have been spectacular. In a region where 40% of all adults have no GED or high school degree, STC's enrollment has increased by 75% between 2004 and 2012, and its community engagement and other efforts have cut its developmental education rates almost in half, from 31% to 17%. It has improved its 3-year graduation rate by 7 percentage points since 2007, helping to make STC 4th in the nation in awarding associate degrees to Latino students and 9th nationally in awarding associate degrees to minority students. So please join me once again in congratulating STC's president, Dr. Shirley Reed.
Well, let's have the STC team up here. Come on. Come on up. There are 2 other special people that were former members of the STC team that I'd love to have join us. Dr. William Serrata, you're out there somewhere, and Dr. Lucelma Canales. Lucelma, if you're there, come join us. As they're making their way to the stage, let me just say it is such an honor, and I graciously accept this award on the behalf of our faculty, staff, students, and Board of Trustees of South Texas College. I do extend heartfelt appreciation to Leah. Without her, this vision would have never become a reality. I thank ATD, the Kresge Foundation, and I thank Carol Lincoln. Thank you so much, Carol. I have to thank our coaches. They have done a great job mentoring us, and we were quite incorrigible to work with, I must say that. You know, this level of achievement is really only possible with an outstanding faculty and staff and a board of trustees. A special person I want to thank is Christina Wilson, who did the heavy lifting. She wrote the nomination, for goodness sakes, Christina. Thank you. All this great work might have gone unnoticed if Christina had not nominated us. And I want to send hugs and kisses to my handsome husband who lets me do this great work. Thank you, dear. All of us know this is really hard, but immensely rewarding work that we are doing. We were among the first to join Achieving the Dream.
And we use terms like engaging in courageous conversations. Those were difficult conversations with faculty and staff about the need to transform our institutions and improve our student outcomes. We had a lot of conversations denying the data. The data has to be wrong. We can't possibly be that bad. But we made it through the denial of the data. We had a few missteps, and eventually we did identify what we believe are promising best practices. And we do believe these practices can be taken to scale. What we have done in our region is transform deep South Texas, which is right along the US-Mexico border, to transform that region into what we call a college-going culture, whereby attending and completing college is possible and expected for all. This was not even conceived in the minds of our young people and their family before South Texas College was created. You know, students come through our doors, you know, with their dreams, their hopes, and with their challenging life circumstances. And we have to collectively accept the responsibility to help them be a success, however we define success and whatever it may mean for that individual student. They look to us to help them achieve the dream, and it's pretty heavy lifting for an awful lot of our students. At South Texas College, we believe it is our collective responsibility to facilitate the success of every student, and we realize it is a daunting and challenging task. It's been almost a decade-long journey with ATD, and frankly, the work has just begun. We're just beginning to understand how we can change practices to dramatically improve student success. You know, it pierces my heart when I see so many of our community college students leave our institutions, not just South Texas College, but all community colleges. And we all know that when students leave the nurturing environment of our community colleges, there really aren't many other options for them. I implore all of you, newcomers to ATD, old-timers, embrace the commitment, develop the passion, and ignite the political will to help all students who come through our doors achieve their dreams. Such passion and commitment must really begin with the Board of Trustees of our individual institutions. And at South Texas College, we are most fortunate to have a passionate, dedicated, and commitment board. And I'd like to invite Ms. Rose Benavides, who serves as chair of our board, to take a moment to express her appreciation as well for this recognition. Ms. Benavides. Thank you. Congratulations.
Mine's shorter, so I shouldn't take that long. On behalf of South Texas College, we want to thank you for this very special recognition. I know my colleagues on the board join me in this expression of gratitude, but I'm more certain that they join me in taking full credit for this wonderful achievement. No, in all honesty, we are humbled by your decision to recognize the commitment and dedication of our outstanding faculty and staff, led by our founding president, Dr. Shirley Reed. This award is a reflection of their innovative approach to transforming a community, and she was kind in her words earlier. This is a community that's 90% Hispanic, and you weren't too far off when you said 2 countries, because we do serve 2 countries, that was plagued with high poverty and unemployment and has turned into a mecca of prosperity and skilled labor. This is a community that has transformed itself in spite of the challenges it faces, and all because of the vision and the commitment and dedication of the people at South Texas College. Thank you, Achieving the Dream. Thank you, Kresge Foundation, for bestowing this honor on a college from a small town with dreams as big as Texas. And thank each and every one of you for being not just dreamers, but believers. Gracias.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Benavides. I'm so proud of myself I could actually bend over and stand up again. And with that, let me once again say from the very bottom of my heart, and on the behalf of our faculty, staff, and students, this award is indeed an honor. Thank you. I'll try not to take your notes with.
We're going to wait. We're going to wait to see if Bill can bend over. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it's my final pleasure to introduce Dr. Mary Rittling, who will be introducing tonight's keynote speaker. Dr. Rittling was named the 3rd president of Davidson County Community College in North Carolina in 2003, and in 2012 was named President of the Year by North Carolina's Community College System. Before joining Davidson, Dr. Rittling served 4 years as Regional Vice President of West Virginia University, where she was also President of Potomac State College of West Virginia. She has a doctorate from Columbia University and is proud to lead an institution serving close to 17,000 students. Dr. Rittling.
Good evening. Well, it is such an honor this evening to be here, and I am also very humbled and blessed to introduce one of our excellent students from Davidson County Community College. Like at your institutions, there are students you encounter who will transform your thinking and empower you to work even harder to make a difference in their lives. Most recently for me, I had the opportunity to meet this wonderful young woman by the name of Ricsy Sanchez. I met Ricsy a few months ago when she spoke to the faculty and staff in a program that we offer on the Davidson County Community College campus in leadership. It's a leadership academy. She, along with a few other undocumented students, shared their stories of coming to America as children and being raised to have the same dreams for the future as their American classmates. Ricsy is doing what so many of her counterparts aren't able to do, and that is to continue her education. Even though she has faced unbelievable obstacles, her journey is one of bravery, it is one of determination, it is one of hope. I believe her story will inspire you as much as it has inspired me. So please join me in welcoming my dreamer, Ricsy Sanchez.
I actually thought I was going to be like too short, but it works perfect. Well, I'm so honored to be here tonight. I feel so special. Like Dr. Ridley mentioned, I came from Honduras 8 years ago, almost 8 years ago, and I didn't know English at all. And now, just standing here is just a big honor to be speaking to you all. I started high school when I was 11 years old and went through the whole process of learning English and then transferring to high school and start taking honors classes and then AP. So it was a very challenging experience, especially because you're not used to how the American system of teaching works. But I made it. I started taking honor classes. I got into National Honor Society and a couple other organizations. I took AP English, and that class was a life-changing experience. It was there whenever we started the application process that I realized how not having a documented status will affect me to get a higher education. My English teacher, Miss Poole, she was excited that I was going to apply to college and everything, and she told me, hey, Ricsy, you're going to apply to Chapel Hill, don't you? And I told her, no, not really. I'm just going to go ahead and work, just like my 4 other siblings did. And she asked me why, and I say, because my dad had an accident. At that time, it was like 3 years, and I just want to help him out. I want to go to the work field and work and help my family get money into the house, and that way we can all help him. But she actually looked at me and she said, that's not what you are here for. You're here to get a future. If you get a future, if you get an education, you're going to help your daddy in the long run. And so I did. And I applied to DCCC, and I was accepted right away. My sister cannot yet go to college because she has to pay out of the state, and it's very expensive. I was lucky to get some scholarships, and those are hard to get, especially whenever most of them just ask for a Social Security, a number that does not define anyone. It does not define me at all. It doesn't define what I'm capable of doing. When I was at the guidance counseling office, we were all my AP class was applying for FAFSA. And the guidance counselor, she said, so Ricsy, do you have a Social Security number? And I looked into her eyes, and I was like, what is that? And she said, that's how you get your financial aid. And I say, well, I don't have one. And she said, are you illegal? She used that word. And it was at that moment that it really struck me, what it meant to be illegal in this country. I did remember crossing 3 frontiers, from Honduras to Guatemala, Guatemala to Mexico, and Mexico to the United States. To the United States law, of course, that's illegal. To me, that means coming to the United States and meet my mom. My mom left Honduras, my native country, when I was 3 years old, so I did not have idea who she was. I often just look at pictures of her and compare myself to the mirror and be like, is this my mom? Does she look like me? Try to look for similar characteristics. And I was like, I don't know, how can that be possible? Well, why did she leave me? And so many questions arise. But one day, she just gave me a call, and she said, hey, Ricsy, guess what? You and your sister are going to come to the United States. So I packed my clothes, my best clothes right away. I just went and grabbed everything, and I started crossing the 3 frontiers. I crossed from Honduras to Guatemala in a canoe. It was 32 people in that trip with me, and we all tried to balance the canoe so it won't flip over. And the reason why we were scared of flipping over, one, we couldn't swim. The other one was because there were crocodiles. And of course, you know, we could have died. Another experience that I remember is sleeping at the side of the road. We were sleeping there, and a vehicle was just going to stop, and everybody was supposed to climb as soon as you could. I was just 11 years old, very skinny. I was anemic because people that were supposed to take care of me, they didn't take care of me. So I slipped, and I fell. And I just remember somebody literally just grabbing me and throwing me in the front of the vehicle. And I just called that person my guardian angel. From there, we moved on to Mexico, and there was a part of Mexico where the grass was just very tall, and we had to sleep there and cover ourselves with plastic. And it was November, so it was cold, and all the humidity from the ground got those ticks to us. And I got ticks on my belly and various parts of my body. And my sister had to pull them away from me, and I still have the scarves. And sometimes whenever I take a shower, I look at them, and they remind me of where I came from, of where was my goal here, of what I came to do here. Whenever we were there, the last frontier, of course, it was to cross the Rio Bravo. And I crossed, we were supposed to hold ourselves into an inner tube. I was 3 days before me crossing the frontier, I was separated from my sister because they wanted for us, for immigration, I guess, to not look that we were related, and they just thought the process was going to be easy that way. So they told me that for no reason to say that she was my sister. So of course you had to do whatever they tell you, especially at that age. And so I crossed the next day, and I remember just putting all my little belongings into a bag so they wouldn't get wet, and I could like cross and then put dry clothes on. While I hold to the inner tube, a flip-flop just literally, like, I just let go of it. And I, of course, let go of the inner tube to grab the flip-flop. And again, that guardian angel just pushed me to get a hold of it. And I hold it as tight as I could, and I crossed barefooted, and wow, I was in the United States soil. That image of the first thing that I saw was not like the pictures I've seen of the United States. Was nothing like the New York Statue of Liberty. It was nothing like that. It was actually dry soil like tractor prints, and I walked barefooted, and I remember a big light shining. And every time, like, there were, of course, trees, and every time the trees covered us, the lights would go off. Whenever we came out, they would go back on. And then red and blue lights start to appear. Immigration police came over, and we just stood there. And they asked more questions, and since I was a minor, I was taken to a detention center. From there on, I could keep on going, telling the story, and I only have like 15 minutes. But from then on, they were trying to figure out who I was. And they showed me the picture of my sister. They say, look, this girl looks like you. She's your sister. Of course, they speak Spanish to me. And I say, no, that's not my sister. And the man say, are you sure? She's just identical to you. And I had to say no. And whenever I told my sister right after we saw each other in American soil, I say, sister, I'm sorry I had to say no, but that was the only thing. Just say no, because I was taught to say no. And sorry that I deny you. And she just looked down, and of course, it's stuff you had to do, and your sister understand it. And she did. She understood that I had to say that. And so I crossed, and I was lost. I was in a country that wasn't my own. And wow, it started there from zero, and not having a mother, not having basically anyone. One day, of course, I was sent to a home shelter, to like a homeless, not a homeless shelter, but a shelter that take care of kids. We went back to immigration, and out of nowhere, I saw like a lady at the corner, and I was like, is that the lady from the pictures? That's the lady that looks like me. That's my mom. And my mom ran, and she said, Ricsy, come here, come towards mommy. And she opened her arms to me, and I just ran towards her, and I was finally feeling mother love. I was finally feeling love from her, something that I never felt before. And it was hard. Of course, had to learn how to love my mom, how to love my family, because I had not, like I said before, I had no idea who she was. And of course, I did not choose to come. My mother made that important decision to me. And I don't regret her or ask her why. Why did she leave me at the age of 3? Because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be standing here. I feel very welcome to this country. After I learned English, I applied to college. I applied to Davidson County Community College. Wow, a life-changing experience. Now I'm the secretary of SGA. I'm the president of the Hispanic Culture Club, and I feel proud because of that. The staff at DCCC not only teaches, they are there to listen to me. Not only they don't see me as a student, but they also see me as an individual that I am. They take their time to actually sit down with me and talk about me, like what I go through every day. On my second year of college, I met Kat Drader, an awesome woman. She's phenomenal. She was the one that actually got me into Hispanic Culture Club, and I got it. And my best friend, Nisha, she also helped me to get into the SGA. So I've always been surrounded by people that care a lot about me and not about those numbers. Also, the Lexington Senior High School also helped me a lot. The Colonel Sergeant, the JROTC program was very helpful. Ms. Poole, as I mentioned before. And now I'm in that phase. I don't know what to do after college. A 2-year degree is awesome for someone like me who is like sharing this with you guys, that not everyone stands there and share their opportunity and say, I'm undocumented, I don't care what you say. But because to me, getting an education, that's what defines me, not those numbers. Whenever my dad had his accident, it's about to be 5 years, on the 11th of February, I saw that necessity of bilingual people in the medical field. And I was like, that's what I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna be a doctor, and I don't care how much it's gonna take me to get there, but I'm gonna make it. Right now, I'll be graduating in May with an associate degree in science, and I wanna go transfer to Chapel Hill and study pre-med, and maybe specialize on fascial surgery for people that had accidents like my dad did. My dad went from from a coma to a bed, to a wheelchair, to a cane, to walking home again. So I believe that if he could beat death, I could beat any barrier, because I have everything that can get me there and make me a doctor one day. As I say, I have a fear. I have fear that one day I'm there at school studying, getting a degree, and the next day wake up in a country that I don't recognize anymore, wake up in jail. That happened to my brother like 2 years ago in 2010. He had living here for more than 10 years and since he was little. And of course, immigration police got him, detained him for no reason. And now he's living in my country, and I'm scared that every time I get a call from Honduras, somebody's gonna say, your brother's shot, he's dead, nobody knows who kills him. And that's the fear I go through, that something like that could happen to me. And it happened to him, and the day that he had to actually leave the country, he looked at me and he said, hey, Ricsy, I'm glad that I'm actually the one living, because I know that I can defend myself. And if you stay here, you can become someone, because you're heading there. And he was right. Here I am. They also wanted to deport my dad, but in his condition, and it was terrible at the time. And immigration police doesn't care. They don't care about what you have. And my friends and I, we were very happy that the DREAM Act was finally going to be put on a vote. And to me, that meant a lot. That meant opportunity. That meant being here without hiding, just coming out and say, hey, here I am. I want to do this. I want to do that. But we were 5 votes short. 5 votes from achieving millions of students just like me from achieving their goal. And the fair action was passed last year, but it's not enough. It's all up to states to give you licenses, and it's all up to the state to decide if they give you in-state or out-of-state tuition. Deferred action basically just give you a legal work permit, that's it. But yet, I struggle. I had to wake up at 5:30 in the morning every day to fix everything for my dad. Then my mom, of course, has to be at work at 7, so she drops me at the college like around 6:30, and then I have class at 8, and now, of course, I'm very active with extracurricular activities, so not being able to drive around is stopping me from doing so many other stuff that I could do. This trip to California means everything to me. It is an honor. I'm honored to be here and being the first Latina to speak at this conference, the first person that comes from Davidson County in North Carolina, and this is a dream come true. I want to say thank you, not only for giving me this great opportunity, but because after 5 years, I will also be able to see my sister. After my dad's accident, my sister moved here. She actually moved to Las Vegas, and I haven't seen her since then. Whenever I was announced that I was the speaker, I was happy. One was because I'm standing here speaking to you all, and the other is because my sister this weekend, she's coming from Las Vegas to see me, and I don't know what I'm gonna do whenever I have her in front of me. It's 5 years, and I'm blessed. Harold H. Kushner stated in his book, "Forces beyond your control can take away everything you possess, except one thing, your freedom to choose how you will react to that situation." I cannot control the government laws or the state laws or any immigration policies, but I can control my future by doing the stuff that is right, by doing what I'm doing now. When odds were against me, I proved that I could do it, and I'm getting my associate, and I feel happy about it because most of people like me cannot go do that, but I can. And I know one day I'm gonna be in Chapel Hill, and I'm gonna be getting my doctorate and be the first one from my family to graduate from a university. Thanks everyone for not only having given me the opportunity to be here, but to take a little of your time to listen to me. I want to especially thank the staff at DCCC, Dr. Riedlin, Kat Rader, Stacy Holiday, Susan Barson, and Christy, to my high school teachers, Sergeant, Colonel, Ms. Poole. Thanks DCCC and all the colleges for having organizations such as SGA and the Hispanic Culture Club that looks at you by who you are, not by numbers. Thanks for contributing and making me the leader I am today. I want to thank my mom for making that brave decision, for having lived me and her other 4 children and come to the United States. I love you, Mother. Thanks to my dad, because from you, Dad, I learned that life needs to be lived step by step, just like you did in recovering from your accident. I want to thank my siblings as well for their support, and especially thank you, God. Thanks for saving me so many times as I crossed 3 frontiers to come to this land, the place where dreams come true. Everyone has a dream. I not only have one, but 1,000 more. Thanks Achieving the Dream organization for allowing me to be here. What you all do for us is what gives students like me the strength and the courage to keep on going and fighting for our dreams. I still find myself searching for an identity. Of course, I'm not Honduran because I left my homeland, and I'm not American because I don't have the documents to prove so. But like Barack Obama stated when he passed deferred action, we are Americans in our hearts, in our souls, in their minds, in every single one, except one. On paper, I feel like an American. This is what I know as home, the place where our dreams come true. Muchas gracias.
Ricsy, we would like to give you a token of our appreciation for your sharing your story and for being with us. We have a plaque, we have flowers, and we have a check that's in the mail that we hope you will use to continue your education. Thank you. I'd like to invite all of the Davidson County Community College folks who are here this evening to join Ricsy on the stage. We'd love to get a picture. And I'd like to just say to Ricsy, you have 1,600 people in the audience who are now part of your family. And we hope you will always remember everyone in Anaheim who enjoyed so much meeting you and appreciate so much your sharing your story with us. Thank you so much. The first evening of the Dream event is always so inspiring with the Leah, Meyer, Austin Awards and with a special keynote by one of our students. There's no way of topping that. I just hope that all of you keep this spirit and this message in your mind and in your heart for the next several days as we have the opportunity to work together. And I wish you a good evening and rest up. We have a wonderful agenda for you, and we'll see you all early in the morning. Thank you so much for your attention.